This episode of Another Great Day is brought to you by Stockings, gigantic socks. It's Thursday, December 14th, 2023. I hope you're wearing your gigantic socks with your gigantic shoes, and I hope you have a gigantic smile as you prepare to listen to a not gigantic podcast. We're not gigantic.
Our plan is to make it
We're average sized.
10 to 15 minutes.
Oh, I meant physically.
Oh.
Yeah, 10 to 15. We want it to be short and sweet. That's right. Welcome back to Another Great Day, the podcast designed to tell you all about stockings. Just kidding.
Stocking. Another great stocking.
Another great stocking. That's it. Well, speaking of stockings, I said that weird. Speaking of sorry, that threw me off. I said speaking.
Speaking of
I went like
stockings.
falsetto. My voice didn't crack. I just went Mariah Carey for a second there.
Speaking of stockings. Christmas facts.
We're going to go into Christmas facts. That's right. Today's bit, Christmas facts with Chris Taylor. Chris, do you have anything that you want to tell us about Christmas? Is there something? When you think of Christmas, do you think of certain smells, certain colors? Listening audience, do you? Because I know I sure do. I think of the smell of gingerbread. I think of, which I don't really eat much gingerbread, but I know the smell. Usually there's a candle that's burning nearby. So anyhow.
Here is our Christmas fact. You ready?
Okay, let's go. We just opened the door to Christmas land.
Every year, Norway, the country of Norway, sends a beautiful homegrown Christmas tree to London, where it is decorated with lights in Trafalgar Square, standing a towering 20 meters. How many feet is that?
7.
7? It's roughly times 3. Roughly 60 feet, and a little more than that, tall. The terrific tree is a gift to say thank you to the UK that gave Norway help during World War II. What a tremendous gift.
That is awesome. I love that. That's a cool tradition, man.
There you
Good
go.
job, Norway. All right, well, bye, Christmas Facts Land. And on to this day in history world. Here we are. I picture that's Mario 3 when you would you'd use the warp whistle.
Oh, yeah?
And it had different tubes with numbers. We're going down different tubes. We went to Christmas Fact Land. Now we're in this day in history land. Well, on this day in the year 1909, the Indy Brickyard is completed.
What
And
is
if
the
you're-
Indy
I was going
Brickyard?
to say, if you're in the car listening, there's a more than like 90% chance you have no idea what I'm talking about.
No idea.
This has to do with race cars. So have you ever heard of the Indy 5000, the Indy 500?
The Indy 500.
It's
Yeah.
a race?
I have
Yeah.
heard of that.
So the Indy 500 or the Indianapolis 500.
Oh, it's short for Indianapolis.
It's an annual automobile race held at Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the town of Speedway, Indiana.
Oh.
It's an enclave suburb of Indianapolis. So, what's the Brickyard? All right, now that you know what the Indy 500 is, what's the Brickyard? Well, I thought this was kind of neat. In 1909, workers placed the last of 3.2 million with an M, 10-pound bricks.
Whoa.
Yeah, they brought them in on mules and they laid them by hand to pave the motor speedway. And they had all these different other things that they tried, but the cars were wrecking or it was popping tires. Like at one point they put down a ground that was too abrasive. And so the cars would start driving and it would shred the tires. And so it was a disaster.
So they had to
Epic disaster.
test this out. They had to try out different things.
Well, they tested it like live at the first race, apparently, and it just didn't go well. Then they tried gravel and it was shooting gravel into the crowd.
So you're saying even the smartest people of the day who were trying to get things done got things wrong until they figured out
Yes.
how to do it right.
You know that old saying, don't let good be the enemy of great, or is it don't let great be the enemy of good? Yeah, I mess up saying sometimes.
My saying is, let's keep on trying.
Hey, yeah, exactly. Keep on trying. And that's what they did. So anyways, the Brickyard is it's up there and it's buried under asphalt right now, but they left one section of it.
Are you saying it's still the track? Part of the track is still under the brick is underneath the asphalt.
Yep. True.
I did
it's
not
still
know
there.
that.
Yeah, if they excavated it, they'd find it.
Huh.
And it's a tradition now to kiss those bricks after a successful race. So
There's
if you ever
a
watch,
section that's still exposed.
Isn't that interesting?
Huh.
Yeah, I know. It's like, this is so random. And if we have any NASCAR fans in the audience, you've probably seen these guys bend down and kiss the
Wait.
ground.
Is the Indy 500 NASCAR? Does NASCAR race at the Indianapolis 500?
I'm pretty sure they do.
I don't know.
If I'm wrong on that, I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
We
We have been wrong before,
Oh.
and we'll probably be wrong again.
Yep, that's one. Like you said, do the next right thing or whatever. Keep trying.
That's what Anna says from Frozen 2.
You know, that's what Denise told me last night.
Do the next right thing.
We were talking about that movie. All right, well, that'll do it for this day in history. Man, we were all over the place. This is
That's all right.
That was a circus of a this day in history.
I'd say it's a roller coaster.
Oh, speaking of roller coasters, today's question of the day is, and this has nothing to do with NASCAR.
Except for the roller coaster part.
Yes. If you could go on a roller coaster ride with one president, who would it be? And what ride would you ride? Let's throw that in there for bonus.
I have an answer.
You have? Oh, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'd say it'd be Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh, I
And
bet
we-
he'd be interesting.
And we'd go on a Pirates of the Caribbean Disneyland ride.
He would love it.
And I feel like he'd probably have his gun out,
Yes.
shooting like targets.
Oh my goodness.
It'd be like they'd pop up and be like, "Hey there," like animatronics. He'd be kapow.
Ah, egad. You know, I am,
Or it'd be a horse themed, where you're like Rough Riders going on an adventure.
that would be cool. That'd be cool.
So-
I think I'd take Abraham Lincoln on the Texas Giant.
Oh,
Here at Six Flags.
With his hat?
The wood, yeah, with the hat and everything. I'd say, hold on to your hat, Abe. And he'd probably laugh, and then he'd understand why, because that thing is rickety and it is rough. Hopefully he'd be okay.
He'd be great. He's probably a pretty sturdy dude.
So, folks, in case you're wondering, why in the world are we talking about this? It's because, bonus on this day in history, this was the day that George Washington died, way, way back in the olden days. So, we were originally
That is
going to
the
have a
connection
president theme.
For
So,
the presidents.
all right, cool. Well, hopefully you guys have some fun answers. And if you know what president you'd like to go on a roller coaster with, let us know in the poll below. Well, good talk today, Chris. Let's go ahead and take a quick break and check in with our dad joke. Wes McCall on location. Wes, what do you have for us today?
Hey there, Aaron. Hey, Chris. I finally watched that documentary on clocks. It was about time. Have another great day.
Goodness.
Oh, man. Good job. Well, it's time for us to move on to the next section. The word of wisdom. Just let it sit for a second. It's so nice and peaceful. I love it. All right, today's word of wisdom comes to us from Proverbs chapter 26, verse 9.
All right. A proverb in the mouth of a fool is like a thorny branch brandished by a drunk.
Again, paints a picture. Like a thorn that goes... Sorry, I'm laughing. Like a thorn that goes without being fell into the hand of a drunken man, so is a proverb in the mouth of a fool who remains unaffected by its wisdom.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. They don't get it.
Isn't that interesting?
Don't get it. I'm probably this person all the time. I just
Oh.
don't get it. God's saying, there's this thing, Chris, that's good and right to do, and I decide not to do it because I make poor choices sometimes.
Oh, awful. Well, thank you, Proverbs, for yet another humdinger. We loved it. All right, Chris, let's hit that music. Call it a day. Ooh, come on. Our mission here on Another Great Day is to encourage interaction, creativity, and conversation.
Thank you for tuning in. If you're enjoying this podcast, please take a minute to rate and review us and share us out there.
Yes, tell a
Somewhere,
friend, tell a
somewhere
neighbor.
out there.
Say, walk through your city square saying, bonjour, bonjour, and then tell them about Another Great Day podcast.
And the bookseller who's got the books.
Yes, the lady who needs 8 dozen eggs or whatever.
But more important than all those things is that we hope you make it
Another
great day.
We'll see you tomorrow.